Hello.
Good evening.
Can everyone hear us okay? Let us know in the chat, please, if you're in and kind of ready, and if you can hear us okay.
I haven't got my phone. It's plugged in upstairs. So if any of my lot need to get in touch or say anything, then please do so via the Facebook Messenger group or message Duncan directly. We've got monsters for the picture round this week. Something a bit different. We were going to do animals, but I got so upset reading the stories of animals like Tillicum and some of the horrific things that people have done that I couldn't bear to have them on this screen. Oh, sigh.
Right, we'll leave that on the screen for another 20 or 30 seconds.
So what round is the guest round? What's the guest round this week? It's general knowledge, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we'll come to that in a second, yeah. Don't you worry about that, Pet.
Oh, I'm worried. I can't stop worrying. Mainly about the animals now. So
Okay.
who's missing? Who's missing this week? We've got Faith and James missing. Dale's missing.
Dale, yeah. That's all. As far as I'm aware. So, no, don't it? Knocked it up, son. There we go. Hi, everyone.
Oh, hi, Del and AJ. Hi, Charlie's Angels. Are Charlie's Angels across two sites tonight? Because they don't have to be anymore. That would be interesting.
Yeah, that is true. Let us know. I was going to say something there. I've completely forgotten what
About
it was.
The quiz, the next one.
Yeah. So now that the pubs are opening again on July the 4th, which means that
half years on going to be here.
I nearly said something really awful about your family there. It was meant nicely though. I promise. It just means that come July the 4th, none of Lucy's family. I'm joking. I'm not. I'm joking. So what we're going to do is we're not going to do a quiz next week on the 4th, but the following week on the 11th, we're going to do our final lockdown quiz because I think things are starting to kind of return to normal a little bit. And to be honest, we're getting kind of busier and busier. Lucy starts a new job. She's going to have to be doing more and more work. So I think it's about the right time to finish. So what we'll do is for that, for the 11th, we will try and make it a bit special. We'll try and get a decent prize in. We might ask for some guest rounds, do some themes.
We should put a video together of like clips of people who've done the quiz telling us how it's helped them through lockdown. Is that the door?
That was literally the door, yeah. You want me to go?
No, I'll go.
Okay. Sorry about that. So, yeah, 11th of July, would love for... Sorry, I'm just going to mute this. I'm really sorry about this, but the dogs are going to keep barking until Lucy comes back from the door. Okay, I feel like they might have stopped barking now, even though Lucy's still not back yet. But anyway, as I was saying, sorry, 11th of July, would love for as many of you as possible to come for that last quiz. And as I say, we'll try and make something a bit special. Maybe do a few guest rounds, do a few themes, that kind of stuff. Anyway, so as usual, pen and paper, sense of humour, a few brain cells, 6-question round, 1 picture round. Write the answers down as you go, and let us know your scores in chat. Let us know how you do at the end of each round, please, and we will announce the winner at the end, hopefully, if everyone adds up in time. So we'll get stuck in straight away to round one. This is a guest authored round this week. So we've got Phoebe and Des Harley from last week's winners, the Tequila Mockingbirds. I've missed an S off that. Do apologise. Phoebe and Des have written this. I believe Sheena hasn't been involved in the writing of these questions, so I think she's still going to take part for Tequila Mockingbird. So yeah, well, I guess we might as well just get stuck straight in. Lucy's back. Hi, Lucy. Who was that?
It was the big man. He wants a shout out.
Oh, it was the Waltonator. Should be doing our quiz, but no.
Dropping off golf clubs.
Dropping off golf clubs.
He's got his own now.
Anyway, yeah, mine still haven't turned up though, have they? Yeah, so let's get stuck straight in.
What were you talking about there for all that time?
Well, I muted it for a little bit because the dogs were just incessant. And then I just carried on, reiterated July the 11th and asked as many people as possible to get along.
I mean, we could maybe do like a Christmas special or a Halloween special or something like that further down the line, but the weekly ones will have to...
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So I think we will do some guest rounds. Adele and AJ, I think, are quite keen to do one.
Paul and Claire
would love to do one, I reckon. So, yeah. Okay, question 1. What was officially open to the public in May 1889 at the Universal Exposition in Paris? Yeah.
Why are you looking like that?
For a second there, I was thinking, did they write this question? Or is this one of mine? I think it was one of theirs. Otherwise, I've done something horribly wrong here.
No, I think this is the ones that Phoebe wrote.
Yeah, no, I just couldn't. Sorry, I'm going a bit too lally. Tracy is STC tonight, so it must be Stephen, Tracy, and Carter.
That just makes me think subject to contract because we're dealing with a house sale right now.
Question 1. What was officially open to the public in May 1889 at the Universal Exposition in Paris? And yes, it was one of Des and Phoebe's, so that's all right. Sorry, I don't know. I think it's because I've got
this whole round, right? You spent too long on this question now.
No, it's because I've got a question that's kind of sounds similar. I think that's why in one of the later rounds, and I've just confused myself. Anyway,
next.
Question 2. What year was Marmite invented? For those of you that don't know what Marmite is...
I hate Marmite so hard.
Tough luck, frankly, because it's amazing.
I hate it.
Well,
Harry likes it.
Harry loves it. I love it. It's just...
It just smells
lush.
meaty and sticky, and he wants that on there.
It's the toast version of a kebab. It's a terrible analogy.
Well, I've got a TV round tonight. I sacked off the TV questions in favour for just movies.
In favour for just movies?
In favour of just movies.
What year was Marmite invented? 1902, 1929, or 1899?
While you're doing that, I'll just check some messages that are coming in thick and fast.
There's no messages.
There might be.
Question 3. Which Disney princess appeared on our screens first? Was it Cinderella, Snow White, or Aurora? I think this is probably one of the ones that Des wrote.
Well, Des does have a lot of opinions about Disney princesses, who is and who isn't allowed to be a Disney princess.
Does he?
He does.
Oh,
Sophia
right.
is not allowed to be a princess.
I mean, she's definitely a Disney princess, Des. I mean, who's Sophia? Which Disney princess appeared on our screens first? Cinderella, Snow White, or Aurora? Question 4. Whom did David Cameron succeed as the British Prime Minister?
David Cameron never had a single line on his face. Not one wrinkle. Do you reckon that's Botox, or do you reckon it's...
It's probably because he got everyone to vote for Brexit and then jumped
didn't
ship.
Want to deal with the stress. Maybe he doesn't deal with stress, and that's why he's got no wrinkles on his face.
Whom did David Cameron succeed as British Prime Minister?
What does he do now? Does he just do nothing now, or does he do some kind of other...
That's actually a legitimately good question. I don't know. He's not like Nick Clegg, who now works for Facebook. I don't know. Is he still an MP? Don't know. Question 5. In the TV hit Auf Wiedersehen Pet, what was Barry Taylor's trade? Do you know the answer to this one?
No. And I wouldn't have thought Phoebe does either, so I'm assuming this is a dares question.
I don't know, like.
See? Alison says that it was a nice question about Marmite. Thick and
I think my family are mostly Marmite fans. In the TV hit Auf Wiedersehen Pet, what was Barry Taylor's trade? Question 6. What is the name of the man who created Pinocchio? You must know this one.
Oh man, I've got a Pinocchio question in. We should have communicated. I mean, it's not the same question.
I don't like talking to you.
It's not the same question.
What is the name of the man who created Pinocchio? Do you want to show everyone just quickly? Oh, we missed it now. This was the dinner that Lucy made for Harry.
It's 2 cows next to a barn on top of some grass in the sunshine.
Yeah. Lucky boy. Question 7. Ramsay Street is the setting for which TV soap? That's not true. Yes, he did. Left the cucumber. That was it. Yeah, the rest.
Oh, did he? Oh, I hadn't eaten when I was still living. Even though I'd ripped the ham up to make the patches of cow. You know, like the patterns on the cow skin.
So you stuck some pig to a cow?
Yeah.
What are you laughing for?
It was just for art.
It's a bit
art purposes.
Oh, it's alright. I was going to staple it on some cow.
Oh, maybe you should ask people about the gluten-free thing that we've got. It's all
Ramsay Street. It's not. Like, I know the answer to that question already. You don't need to ask other people. Lucy accidentally bought gluten-free Stella.
And Frosties.
Yeah. Ramsay Street is the setting for which TV soap? Question 8. What is the spiciest chili in the world?
Would you do a chili eating competition and eat?
I mean, I don't mind a bit of spice, but I've never really tried eating a raw chili. I think it's fair to say I like hotter food than you.
I like jalapenos more than you.
Yeah, that's always bizarre, isn't it?
It's only jalapenos though.
But it's just because I like the cheese on the nachos, that's why. Question 8. What is the spiciest chili in the world? Just a quick interlude there on the chili thing. A jalapeno is like 750 Scovilles.
What?
And it's the measure that they use for spice.
But surely it's subjective.
No, it's not. There's an actual way to measure it. And then the hottest chili in the world has 1.25 million Scovilles.
I don't know what is 1 Scoville.
Well, I've just told you if a jalapeno is 750.
Yeah, but a jalapeno doesn't taste spicy.
Question 9. Which Disney princess has the least amount of screen time? The least amount.
It's probably not Sophia, because she's not a real princess.
And also she's on it all the time.
All the time.
Question 9. Which Disney princess has the least amount of screen time? And question 10. What is a baby rabbit called?
Oh, I don't know that.
Now, interestingly, they got the answer to this wrong.
No.
Well, not kind of wrong. I'll explain when we get to the answers.
I tried to get Harry to watch The Animals of Farthingwood before, but he hated it. With a passion. I remember loving that show when I was a kid, and now I look back, it's mega depressing.
Yeah, but
really seriously.
These days you've got things like robot trains and stuff. Like, why would he be interested in silly little animals?
Robot dinosaurs, dinosaur monster trucks or whatever it's called.
Question 10. What is a baby rabbit called? Alright, I'm going to put the answers up in a second.
Oh, Geordie jeans are in. Did you say that before?
Yes, I did.
When I was
while you were out, yeah. So, here we go.
Oh, I'm quite interested in the answers.
It was the Eiffel Tower that was opened in May 1889. Marmite was invented in 1902.
I've been at the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, that's fascinating, Dan, thanks. Which Disney princess appeared on our screens first? That was Snow White. David Cameron succeeded Gordon Brown. Barry Taylor's trade was that of an electrician. The name of the man who created Pinocchio is...
Geppetto.
Ramsay Street is the setting for Neighbours. The spiciest chili in the world at 1.25 million Scovilles is the Carolina Reaper. That's a mint name for a chili. The Disney princess that has the least amount of screen time is Aurora with just 18 minutes. And a baby rabbit is called a kitten.
Ah.
Now, they put kit for the answer, which is partially true, but it is just an abbreviation of kitten.
Oh, I did not know that.
Neither
well
did I.
Done,
I had
Phoebe
to Google
and
it.
Yeah,
so that's an excellent round, Phoebe and Des. Thank you very much. Let us know your scores, please, in the old chatter boxes.
I think Phoebe should get a special certificate for doing that. Do you know? And Des, actually. She'll do them with special. Lucy and Duncan seriously
Des has already got a lot of participation medals, I think.
Yeah, but he can use it on his CV.
All right, okay, let's do that.
Right.
Let's help him out. Help the brother out.
Round 2 this week is food and drink, I think, isn't it?
Oh, 10 for Charlie's Angels, 7 for STC, 7 for Geordie Jean, 7 for Adele and AJ, 7 for Sheena.
I'm trying to think what I would have got. I wouldn't have got Marmite, so that's me down to 9 straight away. I would have got Eiffel Tower. I would have got Gordon Brown. I wouldn't have got Electrician. Wouldn't have got Carolina Reaper. Wouldn't have got Aurora, and wouldn't have got the last one. So I'd have been on a solid 5 or 6.
Av and Bill say, well done, Phoebe. And they got 9. That's a good start. 6 for the nerds. So yeah, that's a good round. Some good scores there. No low ones, which is always a sign of a good round.
Mm.
I think some of my rounds might be low scorers.
Is Will playing? Is Will in?
I don't know.
Because we know Faith and James aren't.
Je ne sais pas. Okay, so...
Round 2 is food and drink this week. So this is in light of the food and drink industry starting to open back up again. Bit of a homage, if you like. Question 1. I don't know why that's funny.
Because it's pure bull.
It was nothing other than a coincidence. Which type of beans are used to make baked beans? So question 1 is, which type of beans are used to make baked beans? I love beans. You like some beans, don't you? Your mum's not a fan of beans.
Oh, William's been drafted into Charlie's Angels.
Oh, how Will's been on his own playing for weeks.
They've got a team of about 11 players now.
I feel like we should do some kind of average scoring system now.
I've seen football teams smaller than that. Shocking.
So yeah, beans. You're not a fan, are you?
Specifically and exclusively
just
on jacket
beans.
Potatoes.
That's why you like them.
Yeah, and even then,
they're
it's
one
the
of
sauce
nature's most densely packed sources of protein.
But baked beans, pet, have
and
a ton of sugar
they remain unsullied by flavour, which is always a positive thing.
Yeah, but they have a ton of sugar in baked beans because the sauce is just
beans,
pure sugar.
But not beans.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, beans are incredible. Yeah.
Question 2. What does IPA stand for? So this is a drink question. What does IPA stand for? Now, interestingly, I got this wrong.
Why did you give them the clue? How did you get that wrong?
Because I got the I wrong. I got the P and the A right, but the I thought stood for something different. We like an IPA, don't we? Sometimes. We do.
Andy Al says they'll stop at nothing to win.
I mean, how many tea towels can you have? They've got 2 coming their way. They won 2, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm not paying for one of them. Not retrospectively.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, of course I'll
It's
be
not
one
a case
coming.
of paying retrospectively. It's the fact that they've already paid for and on their way. They're just coming from eBay, so it takes a little while to come.
Okay, I like that.
So that means that your dad can have one of his, and Alison and Rob can have one of theirs, but now Will needs one. What does IPA stand for? Question 3. What type of pastry are profiteroles made from? I love profiteroles. I like the ones you get from the co-op that are already made.
Have you ever made your own profiteroles?
No.
Beyond your skill?
Probably, yeah. I don't...
I've been baking recently, haven't I?
I mean, you made an instant cupcake kit, Paw Patrol cupcakes with Harry.
Yeah, but they were undeniably excellent.
Right. What type of pastry are profiteroles made from?
I think life's too short
to make pastry. That's my problem. I mean,
the short crust is not difficult at all.
No, but it's still messing up the... Why can't I think the blender?
All right.
Is that
food processor? In that case, why get it? Let's just.
Oh, I just don't buy pastry me. Question 4. What is tofu made from? Love tofu. Love it.
There's some types of pastry that are very difficult and very tiring to make.
Phyllo. Even James Martin says, do not make phyllo pastry.
But sure,
because you've got to lament it time again, and it just takes far too long. Nothing.
Lamented.
Is that that's lament?
Laminate?
No. Lament. You Google it. God, I hope I'm right. Question 5. What is beef fillet cooked in puff pastry called? Why are you putting laminate pastry?
I'm just going to say.
Dough.
Yeah, I know, but like.
Okay, so put lament.
But do you know what lament means? Because I just don't know how that could possibly. Yeah, unlucky. It's just Google. Can you see that? Come on, camera. There we go. Lament pastry, including results for laminated pastry.
No, right.
Do you know what lament means?
No. Right. So I used the word vaporous in an email the other day.
Yeah, I noticed, and that was.
And I wanted to check that I was using the word vaporous correctly. And when I typed vaporous into Google, it wouldn't recognise it. It kept changing it to various. And vaporous is a word. It means sly or cunning. She
used that in an email to her new job, right? Thinking that she's absolutely mint. The day before, she questioned the head's PA about email credentials she'd been sent. I've tried several times and it's not working. Please, can you check this? Then I tried logging in. Oh, lo and behold,
it's because I was still logged into my Jasmine Park.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. You were using the complete wrong portal.
I was on the Jasmine Park.
Oh,
I don't understand computers. No. Right, what is beef fillet?
So arrogant. Vaporous. But I can't log into my emails.
It's not as cool as when I use the word invidious in a meeting. And everybody was like,
hurry up.
Everybody hates
Don't even be that
What is the maximum number of Michelin stars that can be awarded to a restaurant? We like a Michelin star, don't we? Actually, we like several.
Look, right. I know Lucy has just used the word vaporous and is now banging on about Michelin star restaurants. She comes from Montague. She's nowhere near as pretentious.
Be wary of offending my entire side.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, there's nothing wrong with Montague. You're just suddenly thinking that you're, like, above your station. You're thinking that you're some kind of, like, Glen Eagles attending. I don't know. Anyway, crack on.
What is the maximum
I'm lamenting this dough.
number of Michelin stars that can be awarded to a restaurant? Question 7.
I'm laminating this conversation.
From which US state does the dish jambalaya come from? We haven't made jambalaya for a while.
I'm going to Google this as well because...
It's right. Because I like the song. Is it Bombaleo? But it sounds like jambalaya. It goes jambalaya. Jambalaya.
Okay, right, yeah, later.
From which US state does the dish jambalaya come from? We haven't had jambalaya for ages. It's a rice dish. It's similar to the paella you made.
I'm not actually a huge fan. No, it's not because it uses normal rice instead of paella rice, and I much prefer paella rice.
Question 8. From which fruit is the drink?
But those two rice titles are the same.
Perry made. It's the fact that Google, it must be such an old word.
It is. It sounds
I also use lugubrious in an assembly.
Oh, stop it.
From which fruit?
Why do you think you're clever? Everyone knows you're not.
Yeah, but if I use big words, people might think I am.
No! Especially when you use them wrong, like lamenting and laminating.
From which fruit is the drink Perry made? Question 9. What was the cartoon cat Garfield's favourite food? Didn't like Mondays, Garfield. And he sang... No, he didn't. There's a clown on Garfield that sings a happy birthday song that my mum always sings to me on my birthday. I can't remember it now. Happy birthday, whoop-dee-doo.
That just makes me think, actually, I need to check the YouTube channel in case we are lagging behind again.
Well, someone would tell us, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it's usually...
Question 10.
It's usually Dale that spots it first.
In which Beatles song will you find the lyrics, I am the Eggman, they are the Eggmen? Now, I know when I say this is food and drink, it's loosely food and drink because it's got the word egg in. In which Beatles song would you find the lyrics, I am the Eggman, they are the Eggmen? Right, asked you 10 questions. Let's put them up on the screen and then you can have a second to look back through them in case you couldn't hear me talking for Duncan taking the mic. Right.
I wasn't really taking the mic, I was just kind of pointing out.
You were rinsing me.
You were rinsing
in a public forum when I'm about to start a very responsible job.
True. I'm very sorry. I'm just trying to.
Should we shout out to our fans across the continent in India? Did you not say we had some Indian fans?
I'm still not convinced that they're not bots.
Well, just in case. Hi, people in India.
Yeah, we had some seemingly Indian fans commenting that they loved the video. So on the last two, actually. So if you are real, thanks for joining.
Thank you for watching. Right, here we go. Which type of beans are used to make baked beans? Haricot beans are used to make baked beans. IPA stands for India Pale Ale. I thought it was Independent Pale Ale. That's what I got wrong. Yeah, I thought it was from the little small craft breweries, and I thought that's what it meant. The type of pastry that is used to make profiteroles is choux. That's actually quite an easy pastry to make because you just do it in a pan. So it's not letting you use a piping bag to make it into shapes. It's not like faffing on and lamenting the dough. Tofu is made from bean curd and is lush. Beef fillet cooked in puff pastry.
Soybean curd, isn't it? Yeah, it's specifically soybean, I think.
Beef Wellington. Well, it's probably not haricot bean curd.
Good banner.
What is the maximum number of Michelin stars that can be awarded to a restaurant? It is 3. And Duncan and I would know this, wouldn't we? Because where did we go? Where did we go the other year for your birthday?
I forgot the name of it.
Really? The waterside,
yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say the Watergate. It was nice.
It was good, yeah. It was really good, yeah.
It's next to the Fat Duck. From which US state does the dish jambalaya come from? It is Louisiana. Every time I say the word or hear the word Louisiana, it makes me think of True Blood.
So Tracy's saying question 4, soy milk, but I don't think it is soy milk that it comes from. I think it is soybean curd specifically.
Google said bean curd. Feel free to fact check that.
Yeah, I think soy milk also comes from soybean, presumably, but it'll be a different process. One will make tofu, one will make, I think, anyway.
I know it's full of water and liquid because we always have to drain it under the beans and stuff. Perry is made from pears. Garfield's favourite food was lasagna. My mum loves lasagna. She used to have lasagna on toast. And if you make a lasagna and it's big enough to last a few days, she used to put some on toast the next day. The Beatles song with the lyrics, I am the Eggman, they are the Eggmen, is I am the Walrus. So there we are. That is your food and drink round.
Right, so for question 4, just to be clear, if you've put soy or bean or soybean, okay, that doesn't really matter. But it is the curd bit, I believe, is important in kind of tofu. So if you haven't got that, then I think you can only have half a point.
Howie, is people self-awarding half points?
Well,
I'm not naming any names, but I mean, she's got about 25 people in her team now.
Hang on a second, actually. No, I'm just going to read this out to see you've got this wrong. Tofu, also known as bean curd, is a food prepared by coagulating soy milk.
I'm sorry, if you coagulate something, does that not curd it? Does that not curdle the milk?
Right, I tell you what, right, if you've got soy milk or bean curd or soybean curd, you can have a point. Anything else, you can't have. Anything. Let us know your scores, please. Lucy's gone off in a huff. She was really upset by that. Upset by yet another mistake. Still not as bad as blanky blank pet. So you're all right. 9 for Tequila Mockingbird, 8 for Geordie Jeans, 10 for Charlie's Angels again. But I think maybe what we do is give them like 2.5 because we can divide it by the number of players that they've got on their team. 9 for STC, 8 for Adele and AJ. Good scores.
Is that Charlie's Angels 4 players over 3 different sites? Did they confirm where they all were?
9 for Avon Bill. Charlie's Angels, can you confirm? Are you in the one household?
Alan, are you with Robin Allison? We know Will's.
Or are we doing the kind of WhatsApp thingy? Okay, anyway. Round 3 is sport, as usual. Yeah, Lucy is still here. She's just hanging washing out for some reason. Bit rude. I mean, we are doing a quiz. But
you don't need me. You've got this.
Anyway.
You're infallible.
2 and hang on a second. What's this here? 2.5 in addition to the 10. No. Honestly. Right, sport. Question 1. What is Usain Bolt's 100-meter world record time? Seven for the nerds. Good scores. It's a high-scoring competition this week.
Balls on the doors.
Question 1. What is Usain Bolt's 100-meter world record time?
Yeah, Harry's trainers are definitely. What's going on here?
Question 2. The LA Lakers and New York Knicks play which sport? Do you know the answer to that one, Pet?
Is it?
No, I don't think it is.
Or is it?
Irish dancing. No. This is doing some.
I'm miming the sport. Is what I'm doing.
Yeah. Honestly, it's horrific. It's even worse than that dancing. The LA Lakers and New York Knicks play which sport? No, your first answer was correct.
Was it? I only know the
Irish dancing.
Because
the LA Lakers are top of the Irish dancing league. No clues, thank you.
That doesn't give away the sport.
Of course it does.
It doesn't show you him at a game anytime. He just talks about it.
Question 3. Which country did F1 legend Ayrton Senna come from? Phenomenal racing driver. But you don't know the answer to that one.
Ayrton Senna. No, couldn't guess.
Which country did F1 legend Ayrton Senna come from?
Remember when Sam just rocked up in the middle of a live?
He would have known that we were doing the quiz as well at that time. That's the frustrating thing.
Come in and co-host.
I think that's exactly what he wanted.
I don't know where he'd been.
Question 4. A penalty in football is taken how many yards away from the goal?
Oh, I don't think Harry can keep these shoes.
So, how far is the penalty spot from the goal line in football? In soccer!
We don't have any Americans that we know.
In soccer! Well, the Finns would have called it soccer, to be fair. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But they're not yet. So you're right.
Yeah. I think I lost them a while back.
A penalty in football is taken how many yards away from the goal? Question 5. Which sport involves tucks and pikes?
Did you tell everybody how we went for a lovely walk today?
I don't know, Lucy. I don't know if anyone can hear you because the microphone's pointing in my direction.
That's fine. I'm coming back in a minute.
No, you are. Just stay there. Which sport involves tucks and pikes?
I think we should ask people to submit videos of how the quiz has changed their life and then make a sepia-style montage of people. As
I said before, I'm pretty sure no one can hear you. So it's just me looking at you, being silent. Question 6. Who has won more Grand Slams? Roger Federer or Serena Williams?
Who was it Paul said that Roger Federer looked like? Was it him he was talking about?
Paul thinks that... Right, actually this will be an interesting one, right? If you're on the YouTube chat or WhatsApp, whatever, Facebook, not bothered, anywhere, does anyone here think that Roger Federer looks like Jimmy Carr? On a scale of 1 to 10, if we could just get a 10 being looks right like him and 1 being looks absolutely not like him, give us your score for what you think Roger Federer and Jimmy Carr are in Lucky Likey stakes. Personally, I think it's a 3 at best. Question 7. Claire says no. Name the only 2 positions who can score in netball. Now, when I've answered this, I answered it off Google, but Her Highness over there seems to think that the answer is incorrect.
Yeah, but I might be wrong. But I thought that the thing that I was talking about could move anywhere they want and score if they wanted to. I thought they could now.
So if we've got any actual netball experts, feel free to...
It's been a while since I've worn one of those bibs.
I can't ever imagine you playing netball. For a start, you're tiny.
Yeah, but
name the only 2 positions who can score in netball.
Wing attack. That's what I used to like to be.
Question 8. How many Super Bowls has American football star Tom Brady won?
Did he go out with Taylor Swift? No? You know Pitch Perfect 2?
Mm-hmm.
Where at the riff off, they have a round of a guy who has dated loads of people and they have to sing songs.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's the name of that guy?
Oh, I can't remember. I know who you mean.
It's not Tom Brady, is it?
No, Johnson. How many Super Bowls has American football star Tom Brady won?
You know what I haven't got? The monitor.
Oh.
I'm sure I wrote it down.
That's not good. Harry's probably been awake for an hour and a half.
I'm sure I wrote it down.
Question 9. Who are the reigning NHL champions? John Mayer.
John, who said that?
Claire. Thanks, Claire.
Okay.
Kindred Spirit. Pitch Perfect 2. Best film ever. Question 9. Who are the reigning NHL champions? And the last question. In which sport would competitors use a piece of equipment known as a foil? Now, when I wrote this, I remember thinking this is a reasonably tough round, but actually it's not, is it? I know the American ones are possibly a little bit tricky, but... Is he asleep, Pet?
Yeah, I haven't even switched it on from a phone.
Oh, dearie me. In which sport would competitors use a piece of equipment known as a foil? Oh. All right. Usain Bolt's world record time is 9.58 seconds. You can have a half point if you said anything within 9 seconds. So if you said 9 seconds or 9.1, 9.2, you can have a half point for that. If you got exactly 9.58, you can have 1 whole point. The LA Lakers and New York Knicks played basketball. Ayrton Senna came from Brazil. A penalty in football is taken 12 yards away. The penalty spot is 12 yards away from the goal line. It's diving that has tucks and pikes. Serena Williams has won more Grand Slams than Roger Federer. The only 2 positions who I think can score a netball are goal attack and goal shooter.
I thought the centre could score as well, but I'm happy to admit that I could be wrong, but I just thought the centre could move anywhere I wanted.
No, you're wrong. Tom Brady has won 6 Super Bowls, which I believe is a record. The reigning NHL champions. Now, I'm not sure about this one, if I'm honest. I found this one bizarrely difficult to find out, but I think it's St. Louis Blues. If anyone has an answer to the contrary, please let me know. And the sport in which competitors use a piece of equipment known as a foil is fencing. Let us know how you did. And Claire, I'm really sorry, but no, you can only have a half point for 9.6.
On a slight tangent here, this is a message going out to STC. I've just been catching up on some Facebook messages from sort of today and yesterday from my dad and Tracy chat. And Tracy has sent this video of what can only be described as an absolutely ginormous slug in her back garden that looks like something tropical. Can you please just clarify how big that slug was, Tracy? Because that was quite harrowing. Timothy the Slug, she named him, which is quite nice.
6 for Geordie Jeans. 9 for Charlie's Angels. 9 for Adele and AJ. Nice. 8 for Avon Bill. Some good scores there. There was a couple of tricky questions. 7 for the Nerds. And Av, who I believe did play netball quite a lot, says senders aren't allowed to score.
No, that's fine. I don't know where I got that
so
from.
So basically,
I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong.
9 for Tequila Mockingbird, 7 for STC. Okay, so now I believe we're on a break time, aren't we? Yeah, we're a little bit early by like a minute, so that's good. We'll be back at about 8:44 or thereabouts.
Have yourselves a wee and top your glasses up. That's what we say, don't we?
Yeah, and there's the picture around
Monsters.
For you. Timothy was about 4 inches.
4 inches for a slug?
It's not that big, like.
That's kind of big. The ones that come on our recycling bin aren't that big.
Yeah, on the road up to
out.
Seaton Burn, when it's been wet, and you see some absolute beasts up there.
The worst experience I ever had with a slug was when I went out in the back garden in the middle of the night to put rubbish in the bin.
And you stood on one, didn't you?
I had no shoes on, nothing, and I just felt this slimy thing squish, and I felt horrific.
We'll be back in about 5 minutes. See you soon. Hello again.
Hello.
Okay, so we'll leave that on the screen for another kind of 10, 15 seconds. And then we will get into round 4.
Paul's just said that number 8 on the picture round looks like me, but you said that 7 looked more like me, didn't you?
To be fair, like, not trying to be mean or anything, but I think you look like a combination of 1, 7, and 8.
Well, I think I've got 1's cheekiness.
No.
And 7's cuteness.
No, that's not the
and
attributes.
8's
I meant 1's chins.
illegibility. Illegibleness?
What are you talking about,
we can't understand what number 8 says, can
This
you?
is laminating all over again.
Oh, I don't know.
You got 1's chins.
I'm green.
7's just general aesthetic appeal. And 8's hairiness. Anyway.
7's mood. Today, anyway.
Round 4.
Music. Right, okay, here we go. Question 1. Complete the missing lyrics to the David Bowie song. A small blank blank snuck off to the city, strung out on lasers and slashback lasers. It's quite hard to say quickly. So question 1 is a David Bowie song. You've got to complete the missing lyrics. A small blank blank snuck off to the city, strung out on lasers and slashback blazers. It's hard not to want to sing that.
I'm not listening to you.
Oh. Right. Question 2. Which band released Sultans of Swing? We're not interested in any cover bands or anything like that. So the band that sang it originally is the band that we are after. And who is it that sang Sultans of Swing?
You can't look at your phone.
I know, it was just, it's hard being like a local celebrity. We were recognised the other day in someone's garden.
By one of the people that does the quiz.
Question 3. According to Elvis Costello, whose army were on their way and here to stay? So that is according to Elvis Costello, whose army were on their way and here to stay. How's your gluten-free beer?
Talking of armies, I've just read some news.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That the Russians paid the Taliban.
Should you be announcing this on YouTube?
Attack US troops. Well, it's been reported by the New York Times and that incredibly trustworthy news source, Fox News. But they love Trump, so it must be true. Anyway, crack on. Go.
Question 4. Who duetted? Now, I don't know if duetted is a word, but I'm using it. Who duetted with Meatloaf in Dead Ringer for Love?
Puzzle page. You can earn an achievement.
Have you got puzzle page too?
Yeah,
I love puzzle page.
Because I was showing my dad how to install it.
I love puzzle page. Puzzle page is amazing. Every day you get a page full of puzzles.
I'm going to delete it right now.
So question 4.
It's made you thicker, I think.
Who duetted with Meatloaf in Dead Ringer for Love? Question 5.
Uninstalled puzzle page.
Question 5. Which band had a one-hit wonder with The Final Countdown? This song reminds me of, what was that show we used to watch? It was like a tongue-in-cheek thing with Jason Bateman, and the brother always came on stage to this song because he was a magician.
Thingy Family, something about family?
Anyone know? Jason Bateman, it was like a sitcom thing, and the sister was Portia de Rossi.
It wasn't My Family, was it?
No, that's British. I think it was Portia de Rossi as the sister.
Oh, man, yeah, I know exactly which one you mean, yeah.
And the brother was a magician, and he used to always come on stage to this song. Let us know if you know the show I'm on about. That's Question 6. How does it feel to treat me like you do when you've laid your hands upon me and told me who you are the opening lines to which song? Has anyone answered yet? Right, whoa. Major giveaway. Stop.
How was that a giveaway?
Because it's the tune. I purposefully read the lyrics so it doesn't sound like the song, and you're singing the tune in the background. How
It was on in the car there, I can't help it.
And Harry went mental.
This is Daddy's not my music. Song. That's not mine. Arrested Development.
Who was
Claire.
it?
Thank you.
Well done, Claire. How does it feel to treat me like you do, blah, 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 are the opening lines to which song? I bet you from the back of these quizzes, we could probably get to number 1 with Blanky Blank Blank. You know how we get these charity singles? Question 7. What was the first number 1 song by the Four Seasons? So not Frankie Valli, the Four Seasons. What was the first number 1 song that the band had once they were together? Now, I think I've told you this interesting fact before, but I still think it's interesting. Joe Pesci got this band together, didn't he? You know the actor?
I think you
How am I
must have
funny?
said that
Like
at least
clown
4
funny?
times
Yeah,
now.
because it's really interesting.
Out of 11 quizzes.
And the song
It's not a good ratio.
My Eyes Adore You, again by Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. They wrote when his daughter overdosed on heroin and died.
Pretty sure you've said that one as well. Or at least you've told me it.
I'm like a font of Frankie Valli management, right?
Useful.
Question 8.
Probably talked about that in your interviews, didn't you?
No, I said some weird stuff in that interview. Question 8.
Shock.
What was the name of the 1988 song sung by Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan? Don't sing it. You were going to sing it there.
I don't know it.
You do know it.
But I don't.
What was the name of the 1988 song by Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan? I think they were a bit of a thing at the time, weren't they? Bit of an item. What's this? Is it me? Is that me?
No.
That was me. I don't want to be memed. Has someone memed us? This is what happens when you're a celebrity.
No one thinks you're important enough in
I don't want to be a
meme.
meme. I'm going to get memed. Question 9. Who had a 2012 hit?
So it's ironic. When I tell you what it is, it's ironic that you think it was you, actually.
I just saw the glasses and the blonde hair. With All I Do Is Win. Win-win, no matter what. Who had a 2012 hit with All I Do Is Win? I bet Phoebe gets this one. Don't know why. Came in my head, Phoebe, when I wrote this question. Question 10. What is the first line to Common People by Pulp?
How can this be gluten-free when it's got maize in it?
I feel like all beer is gluten-free. I know that can't be true because you get gluten-free beer in the gluten-free aisle in the supermarket. I got that from the Spa. What is the first line to Common People by Pulp? Duncan, answers page, please.
So let me just show you quickly what it was.
I literally thought that was me.
So Lucy thought that this was her. So she just saw it quickly on my phone. And it's ironic because Paul was actually saying that looks like Lucy. So
it does.
that must be
really does.
That's terrifying. Thanks, Paul.
I'm going to find a really offensive picture of Paul now. Actually, I'll do the answers first and then I'll do that. It really does look like me.
That's terrifying.
More than Yvette Fielding looks like me.
The sad thing is, right, you can't pick how you look, but I chose this. I chose this.
Complete the missing lyrics to the David Bowie song. It is a small genie snuck off to this city. Which band released Sultans of Swing? Dire Straits? According to Elvis Costello, it was Oliver's Army who were here to stay and on their way. It was Cher who duetted with Meatloaf in Dead Ringer for Love. The band who had a one-hit wonder with the final countdown was Europe. How does it feel? You can sing the tune now. To treat me like you do. That is Blue Monday by New Order. It really is. The first number one song by the Four Seasons was Sherry. We sing that to Harry, don't we? Or we used to. Harry instead of Sherry. The song by Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan was Especially For You. And it was DJ Khaled who had a 2012 hit with All I Do Is Win. And the first line to Common People by Pulp is, she came from Greece, she had a thirst for knowledge. She studied sculpture at St. Martin's College, that's where I...
You'll probably just stop there. I think maybe next time what we'll do is we'll get someone else to do your music rounds that you can't sing.
So Paul is apparently him from An Idiot Abroad, who I can't
Called
remember.
Duncan.
I think that can be more offensive. I'm going to try and be worse than that.
Okay, so let us know your scores, please. Scores on the doors. 9 for Tequila Mockingbird. 8 for STC. 8 for Charlie's Angels.
Did Phoebe get number 9? That's what I want to know.
Why do you think that Phoebe would get that one?
Because Phoebe told me who DJ Khaled was.
But in 2012, Phoebe would have been how old?
What's 8 take? I don't know. She told
What's
me.
8 take 2? Is that about?
No, Phoebe told me who DJ Khaled was.
Alright, fair enough. 8 for Geordie Jeans. So Claire points out that maize, and I've just checked this, not that I didn't trust you, Claire, but maize is a grain that is gluten-free, but it does specifically say barley malt on it as well, and I've checked that, and that definitely isn't gluten-free. So there must be some kind of process that allows them to take the gluten out of it or something.
This is like that conversation that Ross has with Mike and friends about lager, where they each want to kill themselves because it's so boring.
Anyway, right. Yeah, let us know your scores, please. Claire is gluten-free, so there you go.
So she
would have that information. She's not just generally knowledgeable. Well, she is generally knowledgeable.
See, Phoebe loves DJ Khaled.
Yeah,
I knew it was Phoebe who taught me who DJ Khaled was. 7
for Av and Bill. We're missing a few scores there, I think, but anyway. Anyway, round 5, history and geography. This one, I'm going to tell you in advance. This is quite hard, I think.
I love a body of water.
There's a few easy-ish questions in it, but there is a few more difficult ones. I think, anyway, I don't know. I thought that about the sport round, and then that wasn't difficult at all. What body of water separates Africa and Europe?
In my most recent job interview, which I was surprisingly successful at, I told them in the interview that I love a body of water, didn't I? And I do. I mean, it's true. I love a body of water.
I don't even know
One
what
of the
to say
reasons
that.
I want to move to the coast.
What body of water separates Africa and Europe? Loads of water in North Shields.
Well, there is. It's next to the coast. It's got a fish cay. It's got the River Tyne flowing through it.
Damn. I was just trying to point out that you're not moving to Willie Bay. No.
Well, Sam interestingly said at the door that we should be trying to stretch ourselves further. I don't know what he means by that.
I'm sick of listening to him, to be honest. He's talking pure rubbish. Every house is sent.
He's
terrible.
Every
Here's a house that's 250 grand and requires full refurbishment.
He's constantly sending houses on like Rightmove links and stuff, and we've seen them all. Yeah. I think we've seen every house for sale in a 10-mile radius from where we live.
Question 2: name one of the 2 Japanese cities upon which nuclear bombs were dropped in 1945. Name one of the 2 Japanese cities upon which nuclear bombs were dropped in 1945. Question 3. What is the smallest country in the world? Do you know this one?
Nope.
I think you do, because I think we've discussed it before.
Nope.
No? She's had a glass of wine.
2.
Oh. What is the smallest country in the world? Question 4. Who discovered penicillin? Do you know this one?
Nope.
I think you might when the name comes up. Who discovered penicillin?
I don't like when we don't get time to do each other's rounds because it's quite fun for me.
I hate it. Question 5. What Hawaiian island is known as Bird Island? Do you know that one?
I only know 2 Hawaiian islands.
You know, there is a web. No.
Is it?
No.
They're the only 2 I know.
What Hawaiian island is known as Bird
is it?
Island? No. Question 6. Which Commonwealth nation was granted full independence from Britain in March 1986?
I don't know. I wasn't even born then.
You're not?
No.
You're not as old as you look like. Which Commonwealth nation was granted full independence from Britain in March 1986?
The picture that Paul sent to me, him from Wayne's World. That is Halloween costume written all over it.
Question 7. Which country formerly ruled Iceland?
Remember a couple of years ago when we were going to go out for a Halloween night out, dressed like Team Rocket from Pokemon?
No, I mean, that was never actually going to happen. You were banging on about it for ages, and I was saying no, 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 no.
We should do that because Harry would make a good Meowth.
Meow. I love Pokemon. Which country formerly ruled Iceland?
My hay fever's starting up again.
That's interesting. Question 8. In what year did rationing end in the UK?
I was kind of surprised that didn't come back. Well, it kind of did, really, because there was limits on things in supermarkets that you could buy, and it was a completely different system. But
What are you about?
in this
For COVID?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, it wasn't the same. With rationing, and you oldies, looking at my family there, can probably correct me on this, but I believe the way that it used to work was that you had to go and get stamps, and then you used the stamps to purchase food. So you couldn't get more, and you wouldn't just go and when we had the limits on things, people were going in and buying everything in the shop. So that although they might only buy 2 milks or whatever, they'd go and buy milk, yogurt, blah blah blah, just in case.
And go to a different shop and buy more.
With the rationing stamps, obviously you'd only pick the stuff that you actually needed. In what year did rationing end in the UK? Question 9. What does the DC stand for in Washington, DC? It's not data center.
Department of Corrections.
It's not Department of Corrections. No more clues, Lucy. It could have been. It could have been Washington Department of Corrections.
Well, there might be a Washington Department of Corrections.
I can imagine. What's this mark on the table?
DC Comics.
What's this mark on the table?
I don't know. It looks like a sticker, doesn't it? Like someone's been stuck to it. It's a perfect
There's one there as well.
Well, there's something here that's like glue.
Oh, that'll be off my table tennis bats probably. What does the DC stand for in Washington, DC?
Comics. I prefer DC over Marvel. Apart from, who's the Marvel one I really like? The one that's played by... Yeah, I love Deadpool.
Question 10. Which tax caused riots in London in March 1990? Now, I'm looking for its kind of informal name, the name that this tax was known by. It might have had a different actual name in legislation, but I'm looking for the name that everyone at that time knew it by. Which tax caused riots in London in March 1990? Hello?
Next up, putting a shelf up. Pick the times to get high and put shelves up.
This is live on YouTube.
That's factual.
Yeah, but that's your best mate. Anyway.
We're moving, it's fine. Q-Sail cuts
the body of water that separates Africa and Europe is the Mediterranean Sea. The 2 Japanese cities upon which nuclear bombs were dropped were Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Hiroshima. You tell your dad off for mispronouncing words all the time.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I've heard it said both ways. I don't know which one's correct.
I assume I am. Hiroshima.
Hiroshima. I don't know. Anyway, smallest country in the world is Vatican City.
Oh, we did. We had that. Yeah, we had that.
The person that discovered penicillin was Alexander Fleming.
Knew that as well. You were right.
Yep. Hawaiian island, known as Bird Island, is Nihoa. Claire, no, you can't have 2 points.
For what?
I only asked for 1.
Ooh, go Claire.
Commonwealth nation granted full independence was Australia. The country that formerly ruled Iceland was Denmark. In what year did rationing end in the UK? That was 1954. The DC in Washington stands for District of Columbia, which you wouldn't have been able to guess, I don't think. Apparently it was like there was a few territories together and it was known as Columbia.
So is Washington DC a city in a state? Or is Washington... Because Seattle is in Washington, so I get really confused.
Yeah, I think Washington DC is the actual city, yeah.
Is that in Washington? As in where Seattle is?
No, totally. It's in... I can't remember. But no, it's definitely separate. And the tax that caused riots in London was the poll tax. People were very unhappy about it. Let us know your scores, please.
Just a quick heads up about the next round. So, like I started to say earlier, we normally have film and TV for the last round, but this week it is just movies, and it is horror and Disney themed exclusively. So we go Disney horror, Disney horror, Disney horror. I don't know why. It was very last minute. We wrote all of this yesterday, apart from obviously the round that was gifted to us by Phoebe and Des. So it was a bit last minute. And I always find the TV questions quite difficult because we don't actually watch a lot of TV, do we? We watch Netflix type stuff.
Not now, yeah. We used to
it's
kind
of exclusively Louis Theroux.
I used to watch a lot more, yeah. So some decent scores there. 9 for Charlie's Angels, 7 for the Nerds, 8 for STC, 9 for Avon Bill.
What's that pink thing?
5 for Geordie Jeans.
What's that pink one?
That's Annie 7 for Tequila Mockingbird. So there was a couple of hard ones. That Bird Island one, I think I'd be surprised if anyone got that.
How do you say that? Ni hao.
Ni hao. Are
you sure?
Yeah, because I googled the pronunciation.
Ni hao is hello in Japanese, isn't it?
Chinese. And it's not, I don't think it's hello either. I think it just means I think it means how are you in Mandarin. Ni hao.
Okay. Right, last round. Movies, horror and Disney exclusive.
I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to veto this because Lucy did it. She says yesterday. It was about half an hour ago.
It wasn't. It was yesterday.
So I do apologise in advance.
Right, we're taking a little trip back in time with this one. So the magic words Triguna macoides, Tricorum satis D come from which classic Disney film? Now, I used to watch this film all the time with me nana when I was little.
Hang on a second.
What are you doing?
Sorry, I just need to interrupt quickly. So
it's in the Seychelles.
Charlie's Angels put Moku Manu for Bird Island, and I've just googled it, and that actually is.
Yeah, but you said Hawaii. That says Seychelles on there. Put Bird Island, Hawaii.
Island in Hawaii.
Oh, why do you have Seychelles?
Yeah, so okay, so you can have something different. You can have a point for Moku Manu as well. I don't know. Like I did Google my answer. So yeah.
So question 1.
You can have a point for that.
The magic words Triguna macoides, Tricorum satis D come from which classic Disney movie? Now, I mean, it's from quite a while back, this, but it was a great movie. Question 2. In Stephen King's It, what colour is Georgie's raincoat? I think it's the same colour across the series, the new movie, and in the book.
It's on the front of the
posters. It's quite an iconic little raincoat, isn't it? So what colour is Georgie's raincoat in Stephen King's It? Number 3. What is the name of the reindeer in the Frozen movies?
Darth Vader.
Now, don't give any clues away, because it could be. Darth Vader is a Disney character now, technically.
I said Darth Vader because there's a Darth Vader t-shirt over there.
Yeah, Tracy got you that.
It's a nice t-shirt. I wear it a lot.
What is the name of the reindeer in the Frozen movies? So question 4, if you notice the pattern, will be a horror theme. And that is, what 2 colours make up Freddy Krueger's jumper?
I'll make sure for the next one that we do that we do a better round, yeah.
I quite like it. Now, interesting fact about these particular 2 colours. Wes Craven, the director, chose these colours because he read a study in Scientific American that said that these 2 particular colours clashed the most to the human eye. So it was to make Freddy Krueger look like really
awkward,
annoying.
Yeah.
Don't look at him. I mean, his face wasn't enough for that. Or his big claw hands. Question 5. Who serves as Pinocchio's conscience? What are you doing? Sitting checking that bird thing again.
Right, yeah. So I've just checked it. So Moku Manu is another name for Nihoa. So Nihoa is correct. Nihoa is the proper name for that island. And it's also called Bird Island or Moku Manu. So yeah, you can have a point for either of those.
Question 5. Who served as Pinocchio's
conscience?
Pinocchio's conscience.
Blankety blank blank.
Question 6. What horror movie features a serial killer who wears a mask inspired by an Edvard Munch painting?
Munich? Munch.
Munch, sorry.
Edvard.
Edvard Munch.
You've absolutely napped that
Edvard
up.
Munch.
Left,
No, I'm
right,
always
center.
butchering the German
Pinocchio's
language.
punches.
You know,
You can tell
these
she's had a
quizzes are
second
just
glass of
me.
wine,
It's
can't
getting
you?
steadily and steadily more tipsy. as the quiz progresses.
Maybe what we need to do next time is have Lucy's 3 rounds at the beginning.
Question 6. What horror movie features a serial killer wearing a mask inspired by Edvard Munch painting?
Then you missed the word Anna.
I know it's because I keep thinking it's the next question about the horror stuff. I mean, you'll see. Question 7. I've got another mask one coming up. That's
Are you
why.
going straight to bed after this?
Probably. Question 7. Who is the voice of Maui in Moana? Harry loves the song by Maui.
It's a good song.
You're welcome. It's good. So question 7. Who is the voice of Maui in Moana? The song is called You're Welcome. For people who haven't seen that, they might think that I was just not paying attention to what you were saying.
Won't be the first time.
Question 8. This will be another mask question. Oh. Which famous movie villain wears a Captain Kirk mask painted white?
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I genuinely did not know that.
Yeah. So it's painted white, but it is a Captain Kirk / William Shatner mask. Which famous...
The way you said William Shatner there is one of the most jaunty things I've ever...
Shatner.
Shatner.
Which famous movie villain wears a Captain Kirk mask painted white? Question 9. What was the first Pixar movie? Reckon you know this one?
No.
No.
No, I don't think I do.
So question 9 is, what was the first...
Is it like a well-known one?
Yeah. We've watched it today. What was the first...
That would have been my guess.
What was the first Pixar movie? Question 10. What is the name of the hotel in The Shining? I mean, I put a really hard Shining one in. Like, what was the room number that they didn't want to go in The Shining and stuff?
Still never seen it.
Really? It's very, very, very long. Very long.
I think that's why I haven't seen it.
What is the... You've seen Goodfellas? That's just as long.
Yeah, but these days I get like an hour maximum to watch TV in one go.
Yeah.
Because you fall asleep.
But you can still watch it. I've seen The Shining. What is the name of the hotel in The Shining? So that is your horror and Disney movie round. We'll put the questions on for a minute before you get your answers. Right.
You know, when Dale hasn't been here, we haven't had that lag thing.
He said it's Dale causing the lag
That's
somehow.
exactly it, yeah.
Right, the magic words Triguna, Macoides, Tricorum, Satisty come from Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Angela Lansbury.
Is it a spell like?
Yeah, she makes these shoes dance with it.
Never seen that film.
It's good. It's half cartoon, half real. It's got Mr. Banks from Mary Poppins in. I'd be interested to know who got this one right, actually. So let us know. I want to know who got that one specifically
I reckon
right.
a few people have got that.
In Stephen King's It, Georgie's raincoat is yellow. The name of the reindeer in the Frozen movies is Sven. Harry has a bear named Sven. What two colours make up Freddy Krueger's jumper? It's red and green. I always thought it was red and black, but it is red and green.
Claire and Paul got Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Did they? I'm pleased. Who serves as Pinocchio's conscience? It is Jiminy Cricket. The horror movie that features a serial killer wearing a mask inspired by an Edvard Munch painting is Scream, and the painting was called The Scream. It's harrowing. The voice of Maui in Moana is Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock. Yeah.
Are we giving a point for The Rock?
Yeah. And there's many videos he's shared during lockdown of him washing his daughter's hands, singing the song from Moana.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Nice class.
The famous movie villain who wears the Captain Kirk mask painted white is Dez's favourite. So Sheena's just messaged to say Bedknobs and Broomsticks is one of Dez's favourite movies, which is a shock because there's no Disney princesses in it. The movie villain who wears the Captain Kirk mask is Michael Myers in the Halloween movies.
I'm going to have to look that up because I don't, like, I can kind of see it, but I can't at the same time.
The first Pixar movie was Toy Story. And the name of the hotel in The Shining was the Overlook Hotel. Did anybody get that one? Because my dad's not playing tonight. And I think he would have got that because I know he sort of read the book. But did anybody else get it? Let us know if you did.
I suspect a few people that have seen that will get that.
I've seen The Shining. I can't remember the name of the hotel.
Right, let's get... before we do that, let us know your scores for that round, please. Before we jump on to El Picks Your Runes.
Bedknobs and Broomsticks has got the Portobello Road song in. Portobello Road, Portobello Road.
Thanks. 9 for Sheena and Des and Phoebe.
What one did you get wrong?
Which one did you get wrong?
Which one? Well, what is also...
No, I'll explain that later.
Okay. I bet you got the Shining one wrong.
Yeah, I would get, or maybe red and green for Freddy Krueger.
Well, I said red and black before I looked it up.
9 for STC, 6 for Joy Jeans, 9 for the Nerds, 9 for Charlie's Angels. I'm surprised by Charlie's Angels there, to be honest.
I'm surprised by Geordie Jeans.
Just
My man
because
voted for horror films.
Yeah.
Unless it was the Disney one.
Yeah, it could be the Disney ones, yeah. Right, good scores, people, well done. Picture round. Slimer. Herman Munster. Now, I thought that was Frankenstein. So I bet you a few people get that one wrong. Stripe from Gremlins.
Who is the best gremlin by far?
Nosferatu.
Way better than Gizmo.
Gruffalo. Godzilla. Rancor. That's a type of monster from Star Wars.
It's from Return of the Jedi, specifically.
Right. Cousin It. Pale Man from
Pan's Labyrinth,
yeah, and Sully from Monsters Inc.
For Pale Man, you can have Pan's Labyrinth because you can for that one specifically because I don't even know if they mention his name in the film.
Right, okay.
So he's definitely. I mean, it's a subtitled film anyway, but he's definitely from Pan's Labyrinth, and I think he's iconic as being from Pan's Labyrinth.
Right,
so
okay.
you can have Pan's Labyrinth for that one, but the rest of them you have to get the name. You can't just put Adam's Family for Cousin It or anything like that.
Sheena said she got number 10 wrong. Was the Shining one? So. Let us know your scores for the picture round and give us your total scores, please.
59 for Tequila Mockingbird.
That's a good score. What
one did you get wrong in the picture round, Sheena? Rancor or Pale Man?
7 for Charlie's Angels. Was that 9? They got 9 in the picture round, did they?
I just said 9 for picture, I assume so.
It's impressive, that mind. So this is a round where I would have expected most people to get a 6 at least, I think, but then probably no 10s.
Well, she's going to get Slimer. She's going to get Nosferatu. She's going to get Gruffalo. She's going to get Godzilla.
Oh, 63 for Charlie's Angels.
Well, they've got 25 people in their team. It's to be expected.
7 for Geordie Jeans on the pictures. 48 in total. Good score.
What one's a great film?
7 for films and 7 for pictures for Av and Bill. Let us know your total score, please, Av and Bill. They didn't get Rancor. To be fair, I think the only person I can think of that might have got Rancor is maybe William, but I don't even know if he was Star Wars.
It's a hard... Well, I bet he would have known it was from Star Wars because it's the iconic scene in Jabba's basement where the...
Oh, where they have the fight?
Where the Chuck...
in the pit?
Yeah, this was the Rancor's pit.
Right, okay.
They chucked them down and then...
46 for the Nerds. Some good scores this week, folks.
They kill him under the gate, and I don't like that.
So it looks like that's going to be, it was William who got Rancor. There we go. Well done, Will. I'm glad that I thought that you would get that.
He likes Star Wars because he's normal.
So I wonder which one they didn't get. Pale Man, maybe?
Stripe. Stripe's a hard one because...
Nah, because...
No, it is because
my dad used to watch Gremlins.
Yeah, but you see Gremlins and you automatically think Gizmo. Stripe is the best Gremlin by far.
Geordie Jeans got Rancor.
Yeah, because Gary really loves Star Wars.
Good lad. Good lad.
Did anybody get... Well, I'm assuming his sister got Stripe because she got 9 out of 10 and didn't get Rancor. But did anybody else get Stripe? He's definitely the best Gremlin.
What's the main one's name again?
Gizmo.
I kept saying...
And they're called like...
I googled Gonzo and I was like...
Mogwais or something on there. That's the name of their species.
Yeah,
Mogwai.
Mogwais, yeah, something like that.
It's a Christmas movie.
Anyway, so the winners of this week's quiz appear to be, I don't think Av and Bill have quite surpassed this total, so I think it's fair to say that Charlie's Angels have won this week again with 63 points out of 71. So that's a really good score. So next one we're going to do is just a reminder, and we'll message again probably like end of this week or something. 11th of July, would really appreciate it if you could all come along for the last one. That would be really good. And we're going to ask for some guest rounds. So,
how will that work in terms of scoring?
What do you mean?
So if Avril and Bill put a guest round in, does it mean that Avril has to write the question so Bill can participate?
Nah, I think what we do is, if your team does a round, then you just can't participate. At the end of the day, like we'll say it's going to be a killer prize. It's not.
It is.
And people are going to volunteer to do these rounds as well. So if they really want to win...
Well, why don't we get everybody to submit questions and we just pick and choose from everybody's and then just do like a hodgepodge?
That makes it even harder, because then you're going to have a round where, for example, one team knows 5 points, blah, blah. If you would like to do a round, we'll take suggestions on what the rounds are. We always do general knowledge. We always do geography and history. We always do sport. We always do music.
There's one that I change every week because I get bored.
And then film and
TV
TVs obviously can be a bit variable as well. So if we're filming TV, it might just be movies, it might be theatre, blah blah. So
Sheena's already messaged in and said
for rounds.
Can we have the music round? And then Claire's also messaged at the same time saying she wants the music round. Oh, we'll have to do names out of a hat for the music round, I think.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what. Just let us
know, and then we'll allocate rounds.
To begin with, let us know if you are willing to do one, and maybe give us a few options as to which round you might be interested in, and then we'll try and kind of sort that out. But that would be really good.
And also, we want videos of you all. Just send them to us via any kind of social media that we have of how this quiz has changed your life.
If you can,
cheesy, positive stuff.
If you can do some over the top.
It'll be hilarious.
Videos.
We'll do like a montage with a sepia background with quotes. So I remember that Paul's dad yesterday said that our Craic was better than Bradley Walsh on the chase.
There's no point putting that in.
No, but these kind of quotes will be needed.
The deadline for getting the rounds to us, because it still takes a little while to put them in and format them and stuff, would be maybe like Tuesday next week, I think. So that would be the 5th, 6th, 7th. So if you could get us, we'll tell you which rounds pretty quickly, and then if you could get us the questions and the answers by the Tuesday, that would be really good. You can do we do things like anagrams and multiple choice and stuff like that, but kind of mix and match. Don't just do all questions of that type. And yeah.
Claire, I've already got your music round. You sent it to me a couple of weeks ago. Unless it's a new one. Is it a new one?
So, anyway, thank you very much for joining us again. I hope you had a good time, and we will see you in a couple of weeks.
Don't make your rounds too hard.
No, I'll explain all that when
Duncan will send a mail shot.
There is like a... It's not 1990.
There's a criteria you've got to hit.
There is like a format that you have to use. Yeah, it's quite important.
And you've got to sign up for a non-disclosure agreement as well.
Bye.
Bye.